fantasy story, and it was, I think, the only.
So you want to talk a little bit about yourself there, Walt?
Not especially. Not especially. I mean,
well, how'd you get into comic books?
I got into comics. I read comics as a kid. I quit reading them in high school, and then I got back into them in college, and decided after starting off in geology that I think I preferred drawing and storytelling to being out in the hot sun and fighting the black flies, brushing off bones in fossil beds. But so I went to art school. It worked out pretty well, and I was able to portfolio in comics that I was able to turn into a portfolio to get professional work, which I did.
And where did you do this at?
I went to the Rhode Island School of Design.
And where did you get your first work? How'd that work out?
Came in New York, went to DC Comics, and ended up being introduced, really by accident, to Carmine Infantino, who was the editorial director, the publisher, whatever his official title. He was the head guy. So I talked to him, showed him my stuff. He liked my work, and he actually had DC give me some work, some short stories. Back then, you could still get short stories through the backs of comics. That's not so true now, but at the time, that's where you got your work. So I did a few short stories, and then I graduated the longer features gradually, and it took a little time, but I broke into comics through DC in 1972-73.
And what were you doing?
Well, the early stuff was just backups in Star Spangled War stories. First story was in Weird War number 10, a little horror story of World War II. Len Wein's story called Cyrano's Army. Basically you did whatever you could find. I did that stuff, and then after I'd been doing comics, not quite a year, Archie Goodwin, who was an editor at DC, offered me a new strip he was going to do called Manhunter. And I accepted that. He wrote it, I drew it, and it worked out very well. It really made me professionally.
And what'd you do after that?
Well, I don't know. Metal Men, which was a whole different deal, very cartoony, a whole different type approach than Manhunter was. Eventually, after about 4, I did Hercules Unbound for DC, and then moved over to Marvel at some point. Did Thor for a year, did layouts with Len Wein writing. After that, I don't remember the other comic. I mean, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, got back on Thor, wrote the Raiders of the Lost Ark adaptation. I did a ton of stuff. I worked for Marvel for about 17 years, and then moved on, began working for a variety of companies, and then for the last, 6 years maybe longer. I've been working pretty much for DC. I've been exclusive for DC. And I've done a bunch of work with Michael Moorcock. I've done Orion for 2 years, 25 issues of Orion, Jack Kirby's New Gods characters. I had a great time with them. And so stuff as it comes along. I've got, once Elric is finished, I'm working on an Elric project with Michael Moorcock right now. When that's done, I plan to do a solo book. I've got that all written and ready to go. I'm doing a short series with a friend of mine for Wildstorm, and I'm doing a Wildcat story for DC as well out of the JSA or JLA, I'm not sure. JSA, we'll say, it's the older group. So that'll be just a one-off with that character. So I've got a lot of work to go.
Do you enjoy drawing comic books after all these years?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I still find it a lot of fun. It's just, especially if a page come out right. You do so many pages, and a lot of them, they never quite seem to come out the way you think they should have. But every so often, one comes out really well or better than you thought. It's delightful. It's really a pleasure.
And of all the characters that you've done and the books you've worked on, do you have any particular favorites? I mean, you're still well known for some of your Beta Ray Bill Thor stuff, and of course Manhunter, as you said, made your career.
Well, the ones I've done, Manhunter made my career, so he's always a favorite. I work with Archie really well. We had a great time working together. So Manhunter was really a favorite. Thor was a favorite. I worked with Archie on an adaptation of the original movie Alien for Heavy Metal, and that was something we had a great time working on together. I got to see a rough cut of the film before it came out. It was 2.5 hours long. It's a long time ago now. I don't remember any of the secret stuff anymore, but it was still very cool. And then Thor. I like doing the Fantastic Four. I worked with Frank Miller on RoboCop versus the Terminator. That was fun. I had a good time working with Frank. I liked where the comic came out. I love doing Orion and the New Gods. I like the Jack Kirby New Gods stuff a lot. So working on those characters was really a treat for me. And I've worked with Michael on one other project before this, the Michael Moorcock Multiverse. And I like working with Mike, so we're having a good time doing. We worked in the Multiverse, and I work on Elric now. So That's all been. Those have been projects I've really enjoyed. I'm trying to forget a million other ones I've also. I've had a lot of good luck. I've worked on a lot of projects that I've been really delighted to work on and work with other creators that I'm very pleased to be associated with. So it's been a good run so far. I'm hoping there's still plenty to go.
Well, since this is going to probably be hopefully preserved for posterity for generations of fans to come.
That's a scary find.
Is there anything you'd like to add for the future viewers?
For future viewers, I hope comics are still around. I hope you're still reading them, whether it's on the web or on paper or somewhere else. I can't even imagine. I love the form.